The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation or Stewart Title. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
When it comes to real estate, everything matters. Whether you're a realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title is here to inform, entertain, and inspire you. Host Bill Knapik from Stewart Title will talk with guests about what really matters when it comes to owning, buying, and selling real estate. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title starts right now. Here's your host, Bill Knapik.
And welcome to the show, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik, hosting the show, and it is brought to you every week by Stewart Insurance and Risk Management, where you can get home, auto, broker, E&O, all kinds of insurance. Indeed, you can. And if you're listening here in Houston, Texas, Magnolia, Texas, Washington, D.C., or anywhere else, we think you're going to enjoy the show. We have a great show today, super guest, and some interesting topics. But first, we're going to talk about real estate in Magnolia, Texas. She is LaRae Whorley, and she is with the LaRae Whorley Realty Group. LaRae, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me, Bill. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today.
It's good to see you. Let's tell people, first of all, how are things in Magnolia, Texas?
Things are very healthy. You know, we've never really seen a slump in our market in the last several years. It's a very steady growth. Our school district seems to attract families. We're very fortunate.
Well, not having that right there, not having a slump in a matter of years, that's pretty incredible to have such steady growth and steady real estate action.
Yes, it is. You know, we have mostly owner-occupied properties in the Magnolia School District in our area, and we offer, you know, homes on small lots to acreage properties. And we are within 1 hour of a commute to the Houston area. So being a bedroom community, that's very appealing. People can put their children in a small environment school district. All of our campuses are very low in population, and that was done purposely so that a child could have a small town experience and achieve successes.
They can be
They can
successful.
achieve academic successes as well as athletic.
Well, also, when people listen to the show, certainly here in Houston, it's broadcast. People can hear it on iHeartRadio, anywhere, but many times people hear it long after the broadcast, and they hear it from far away. So if we were to paint, and even for Houstonians, if we were to paint a picture of Magnolia, Texas, for those that have not seen it, go ahead and paint that picture a little bit for us, LaRae. Get out the watercolors and your ideas. Let's tell people what Magnolia is all about and what it looks like.
Magnolia is a beautiful area. We have a lot of trees. If you go just a little bit
I love that.
northwest of us, you're going to run into some pasture land type properties. If you go a little bit northeast, you're going to run into a lot more development. And with that comes fewer trees. So I think that's the main attraction, just those beautiful, gorgeous hardwoods. We also have softwoods like pines, a nice, clean, no industry or kind of ugly businesses around. I mean, the biggest employer in our district is the school district, or in our area in Magnolia is a school district. So it's very charming because it's still unspoiled.
It sounds like a great setting. In fact, when I was there, one of the things I noticed not that long ago is I live right in the city in the uptown Houston area. Mm-hmm. However, when I go to a place like Magnolia and just stand by a home or be on the front porch of a home, it's just a different feel. And I think that's one of the things that attract people not just from Houston, but far and wide.
Correct. I mean, you feel like you are at a weekend home
I like
because
that.
you're in that's your main base. Say you're commuting from downtown Houston, you unwind on your way home, and then you step into a very tranquil environment where you live.
And in addition to being able to enjoy a tranquil environment, I think it's good for our health to have that as well. Now, 2017 for you, let's tell people you've been in real estate for quite a while, how long, but also 2017, you started your own brokerage. So let's tell people a little bit about that monumental year for you.
Correct. I've been in real estate for 19 years. I've worked primarily in Magnolia and Montgomery County, but I spent 17 years with Century 21 and 2 years with RE/MAX. And I had to do some real soul searching in 2016 about what resources did I actually use with the national brand real estate office. They have wonderful resources, but I wasn't using them. Most of my fellow agents were calling me for questions as opposed to our broker. So I realized it was time to make that move. All of my business is 100% repeat and referral and has been for over 10 years. So I might have been a little late coming to the conclusion that I needed to start my own firm, but I did break off this last February and started LaRae Whorley Realty Group, and it's been wildly successful since. Of course, I was very worried, because I felt like some clients thought I was synonymous with Century 21 and worried about losing clients, but it hasn't been the case at all. I've gained more. So.
Very interesting. When we do any kind of new business or new job, there's always a certain anxiety and risk attached, but I'm so happy that it's working out so well. Here we are almost 5-6 months later, so you're pretty happy about that. Right,
and I really did it mostly for myself. I wasn't trying to, scalp anybody's agents from them, and the agents that I do have, I have 5 working for me now, and that's totally unexpected. One of them is actually with me today, and her name is Cassandra Jester, and she's a sister of mine. So she actually provides a great deal of expertise. She had 2 years with Stewart working as a processor.
How about that? So she knows that title business.
Correct, and she was a licensed assistant to me when I was at RE/MAX.
Indeed. Well, we're going to talk to her in a minute, but also let's tell people, first of all, how they can reach out to you if they want to know more about Magnolia, buying or selling.
I strongly encourage you to give me a call. My phone number is 281-300-5737. And if you want to look at my listings online, my website's har.com/LaRae Whorley.
And also the phone number again, LaRae?
281-300-5737.
And with, say, the last couple minutes here in this segment, what are some of the other things you'd like people to know about your company or about Magnolia, Texas?
Well, I like to think that we're a boutique firm. So we're small, and you get hands-on service from us. We provide a multitude of services, from staging at no additional cost. I hate to admit it, but we have done a little bit of pet sitting.
Wait a minute, right there. That could make or break when I think about realtors,
yes.
And I know she or he will do some pet sitting. You've got my attention because I have 2 dogs.
It's complicated. We have clients who, their dogs are their children, and certainly
some radio hosts are like that too.
Well, and they certainly worry about scheduling appointments around the needs of their pets.
Of course.
So we have assisted in doing a little above and beyond servicing to help facilitate showings and not disrupt their pet's day.
Well, no question about it. When we think about any business or any service business, especially going above and beyond is what really gets the deal, and also what helps set us apart from anyone else in a given profession. But now, speaking of pets, do you have a dog?
Absolutely.
One or more?
I have one. We have a little Jack Russell, and he's very spoiled.
What's his name?
JR.
There you, JR, Jack Russell. And dog, we know that realtors and buyers, sellers, and people that just live in Houston or anywhere else like the show. But we also hear great feedback that when dogs listen to the show, a lot of tails are wagging. This is scientific. It's been done and proven. And I'm sure JR is listening to the show, as my 2 canine friends are.
Of course he is.
No doubt about it. One more time, LaRae, let's tell people how they can reach out to you.
281-300-5737 or har.com/LaRae Whorley.
And I bet if someone's saying they're right in Houston and they say, I wonder, I've not been to Magnolia, I know it's close by, I bet you can give them a tour and perhaps introduce them to their new weekend home.
Absolutely.
Or primary residence, as I think it's officially called in the insurance world.
Correct.
And LaRae, thank you so much. One more time, the phone number?
281-300-5737.
Thank you so much. You are listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, your host, Bill Knapik, and we're going to come right back with even more. Stay with us in Magnolia, Texas. I feel like I'm there just hearing about it. We'll be right back.
Stewart Title has been serving Texas for over 120 years. A Texas treasure, Stewart Title's longevity is a testimony to superior service, innovation, and knowing what their customers want. Recent surveys show that 92% of respondents want secure online tracking tools to help them during the closing process. Stewart Title offers the most robust and secure system to track transactions online available today. To learn more, contact Stewart Title at one of their many offices around the city. Stewart Title, online at stewart.com. That's STEWART.com.
And welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. And now, still thinking about Magnolia, Texas, we have Cassandra Jester. She is with LaRae Whorley Realty Group. Cassandra, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Very exciting to see you. And also, first of all, as we think about Magnolia, Texas, LaRae painted a great picture for us. Give us your impression of Magnolia, Texas. You live there. You enjoy it there. What do you love so much about the area?
I love the small town part of it. I've lived in Magnolia since '88, and I have small children. I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old. So I reap the benefits of LaRae having children through the school district before me. So a lot of my daughter's principals know me just from my sisters.
Interesting. Well, we're
Yes.
hearing a lot about the school district there, so it must
Yes.
some smart kids are coming out of that school.
They
I'm
are,
feeling.
and mine are perfect examples.
Right,
of
and they're
that.
listening. Hey, Mom just said, "Look how smart we are." She's on the radio. That is right.
Exactly.
That is exciting. Well, as far as real estate goes, Magnolia is a wonderful place. What is it that you like, and why are you even involved in real estate? What is it that excites you about real estate?
I just recently reactivated my license. I have two small children to where I'm able to do it around their schedule also. Plus, I have a very supportive husband that I can go do things also. And it's a little bit easier for me to do as opposed to a 9-to-5 job. But I do love showing people houses. I love working with people. That's my part of it that I enjoy so much, is working with people.
And in the real estate transaction, whether buying or selling, emotions can sometimes run up and down and all over the place. How do you keep people steady when they go through that real estate transaction?
I try to be as nice and as gentle as possible. I do have a different background in the title business also, so watching people go through that, you try not to be the one that's aggravating or throwing fuel to the fire. You want to try to keep everybody calm and see what can be worked out.
That's right. I've heard it said when there's a challenge, if someone comes with 2 buckets, one is water to put out the fire and one is
Right.
gasoline. You don't want gasoline thrown on a challenging situation.
Right. You don't want to aggravate it even worse because not everything always goes smoothly. And it's just you try to keep everybody calm to where once they stay calm, then everything works out better.
Because the real estate transaction is like a fingerprint. No two are the same. There's always different variables and
No, and it's usually the biggest decision somebody makes in their life, other than marriage and children. It's the biggest purchase that they will make. So yes, it's very nerve-wracking and everything else, but you just have to kind of help them through that.
Let's talk about the listing side of things. What are the things, like, let's say right now in Magnolia, I had a home in Magnolia and wanted to list the home with you. What are the things that you would tell someone getting ready to list their home?
To basically make it presentable, clean it. Don't just, make up your bed. Making up a bed goes a long way.
It really does.
And just decluttering. You don't want it to be too overcrowded with stuff.
And there's so many details that take place to get the home ready. I think that would be one part of the emotional aspect. I think that the seller is going to go through, just to say, especially if they have a lot of clutter and they're living their lives there, if they have children, dogs.
Right. And that's another thing we do offer with LaRae Whorley Realty Group is we can do staging also. If your house isn't perfectly ready, we can go in there and help you and assist you in getting it ready at no charge.
Well, right now, you've mentioned 2 things with LaRae. Pet sitting is a huge plus, and that's a tremendous bonus feature.
Yes.
I hope other realtors out there listening and are going to add that to their arsenal.
Yes.
But the staging, that is super important, too. You do that as well?
Yes, we do. We've just recently done 2 houses that we staged that sold rather quickly after we did stage them.
And they say that all the time. The home that is staged is going to sell quicker and for a better value.
Because it just makes it look better. And one of the houses we staged was for an older man that had passed away. It was his 2 children. He was an elderly gentleman, and the house looked like an elderly person's house. And I went in there, and we freshened it up. I brought stuff from my house, used some of his stuff, to where it showed wonderfully after that.
And I remember a good friend of mine who is in the staging business said, if I could remember this, she said, when you stage a home, it's staging for that potential buyer.
Correct.
And when you design or get an interior designer, that's for you.
For yourself, correct.
And when you put the home on the market, it is a product for someone else. So you have to treat it like that.
Correct. And you want it to look nice and give them a little bit of vision, helping with their vision. Especially with the elderly customer, when people walked in there, all they saw was an old person live there. And you want it to be a little bit fresher to where they can walk in and go, okay, I don't have my grandma's furniture anymore. I have newer stuff. My stuff will look good in here.
And what's interesting, too, and if anybody goes to har.com, I think it's fascinating, even if you're not looking for a home, just to see, or especially if you're putting your home on the market soon, look at what pictures, the good, the bad, and the unbelievable are.
Right.
It's amazing how some homes are presented in a negative way, in a terrible way.
Right, and that's another thing we offer. We do professional photography to where the pictures are wonderful. And to me, pictures sell homes. Used to, people didn't look on the internet. Now, everybody looks on the internet.
Pet sitting, professional photography, staging. Sounds like you've got it all, Cassandra.
We do. We are a full-service real estate company.
Let's tell people how they can reach out to you.
My number is 281-797-4793.
One more time.
281-797-4793.
And say with the last minute, Cassandra, what else would you like people to know?
That, again, we are full service. And when we say pet sitting, yes, it was involved a 65-pound American Bulldog.
Is that the maximum
Exactly.
poundage for your...
If it can jump in the truck, it's different, but when it's over 60 pounds, I can't lift a 65-pound dog every time. But
So, okay, there are limitations to the scope of the
over
pet sitting.
65 pounds, no.
Very nice. One more time, the phone number, Cassandra.
281-797-4793.
Very nice. Thank you so much for being on Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. And now we're going to take another short break. Stay with us. Coming back with even more from Magnolia, Texas. We're going to even change gears, so stay with us. We're coming right back.
Most people don't know that Stewart offers business, home, and auto insurance. In fact, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management has been doing that and more for over 10 years. And they partner with many leading insurance companies to offer great rates. They're a national insurance agency operating in all 50 states, delivering a broad range of insurance products. Whether you need a home insurance quote for a client's home closing or your own insurance needs, you can count on them. Call 866-845-4676. That's 866-845-4676. Stewart Insurance and Risk Management is here to help.
And welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. And now changing gears, going a little bit east from Magnolia. First, we're going to have our good friend in the pool business, aquatic environments, the maximum. He is Brett Hatfield with Down Under Pools. Brett, welcome to the show.
Bill, how are you?
I'm going to tell you what, pools can make or break a home. Going back to looking at HAR here recently, you look at the homes with pools and some look spectacular and others do not. Let's tell people about Down Under.
So what we are is we're a design company that will build. We're focused on building an outdoor environment that's going to extend your living style, and we engineer everything that we build.
Let's tell people the website, because you have some beautiful work on there, not just pools, outdoor kitchens, water effects.
Mm-hmm. We do. So you can go onto my website. It is downunderpools.com. That's DOWNUNDAPOOLS.com. I have to spell it out because it's not spelt correctly.
Exactly, Down Under. Now, you're from New Jersey, right, Brett? Just saying. No.
Actually, LA, Lower Arkansas, yeah.
Really? What city in Australia do you herald from?
I'm originally from Perth. I'm an old surfie. I grew up on the beach in Perth, Western Australia. So
did you surf down there?
I did, man. I surfed Quamut Bay and Margaret River, which is where they hold some of the big surfing tournaments. I was never that good, But yeah, that's it's kind of where I get my love for the outdoors and staying around water and lifestyle.
And very nice. And you brought a guest with you today for this segment. Tell us about your guest, and he's going to talk in a minute.
This guy's actually a good friend of mine, and I'm a member of the EDC, which is the Economic Development Council for the Lake Houston area. And I would like to welcome along Mark Mitchell, who has just taken over as head of that department.
G'day, mate.
Yeah.
Good day, mate. That's awesome. Well, Mark, welcome to the show. Let's tell people about the Lake Houston Economic Development Partnership.
It's a group that's been around for about 6 years now, and we essentially help companies relative to existing companies and companies that are looking for relocation. We help them define great areas within our 6 zip codes and help them find property and or existing buildings and take advantage of different credits and tax incentives that are out there. They help them make the transition work for them.
And we hear so much about in all the news outlets, Wall Street Journal and everywhere else, that companies are moving to Texas and certainly to your part of the world right here north of Houston.
Yeah, we've seen tremendous growth here over the past 6 years. I think from the 1980 census, every 10 years we've seen at least double-digit growth in that area. One year we actually had 80% growth from the 1980 to 1990 census. Remaining census values have been anywhere from 40 to 50% growth. So it has been phenomenal growth, and we kind of affectionately call it the last frontier as far as the Houston metro.
And when people reach out to your organization, they are from everywhere, I would guess. How many people reach out from other countries?
Dozens. Actually, just within a month ago, I took a gentleman from Scotland around our area. I was just going to
say Scotland.
And toured him around, and he represents companies in Scotland that are looking for new locations, and so we gave him the grand tour here a couple of weeks ago.
Indeed, Aberdeen, Scotland. That is the European oil capital, as they say.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that was actually where he was from. And so they are actively looking for opportunities in the Houston metro. And so with the new developments that we've got going on right now, Generation Park being one of them, we've got some great opportunities as far as companies looking to either expand or relocate.
And we are talking with Mark Mitchell, the president of the Lake Houston Economic Development Partnership. Mark, when someone calls you, let's say for the first time, and maybe they're from New Jersey, maybe they're from Scotland, who knows, when they do and they say, why should I even come to Texas, and you're part of Texas or you're part of Houston, what's some of the first things that you bring forth?
Well, I think first and foremost, companies are looking for high-quality employees. And so when you look at our area and you look at our school districts, we've got great employees. We've got a heavy emphasis on oil and gas. We've got a heavy emphasis on engineering and design. We've got great school systems. And so we kind of talk there first because people or businesses need quality people. And so that's really the first line relative to helping companies find the right location. And then the quality of life is just fantastic. When you look at the Lake Houston area, we've got Lake Houston, great river water amenity. We've got Humble School District, which was rated top largest school district a couple of years ago in the state of Texas. So those are the things I start with, and then the airport and some other tangential things are out there that really make it a good fit for folks looking to expand.
And as you brought up Scotland, one of the things I remember talking to a friend of mine, a realtor from Scotland, she says their real estate there is so small comparative to Houston. In fact, as we were talking with Brett too, a lot of places like in Scotland, you wouldn't even be able to have a pool. There wouldn't be room. Right. But this is one of those places. You could have a home with a lot of these amenities that some other places you just would be difficult to have.
No, I think that's a great analogy and a very accurate statement. When you look at Fall Creek, Summerwood, Kingwood, these are all subdivisions that have lots anywhere from half acre to 3/4 acre where you can build as big as you want. And then you've got great feeder homes. We've got 13,000 platted homes that are planned for the next 7 years in that area. So the menu of housing opportunities is just terrific.
Unbelievable. And also, as we are at the midpoint of the year, which is just where did it go so far? Many people ask that. How do you see things play out and unroll for the rest of the year in your organization?
Well, I think this has been a fast-track year. I just took over the reins about 3 months ago. FMC, or Technique FMC, is one of our anchor tenants at Generation Park, and we're starting to see other companies move into the development right now. We're seeing development along 59, the frontage roads. We've got tons of property along 59 North moving forward. We're really underserved from a healthcare perspective, so you're seeing large healthcare providers expanding, where you're seeing some of the central business district kind of contracting. You're actually seeing expansion from that perspective out on the north side of town as well.
Also, let's tell people about your website where they can learn more.
It's LakeHoustonEDP.org, and tons of information, educational, workforce, real estate. It's got everything you need to kind of figure out a good space for you out on the northeast side of town.
And congratulations on your position. I could see you walked into the studio smiling. You're enjoying it so far.
I'm having a good time. I've been on all four sides of the table. I've been with utilities. I've been with city and state government. I've done private consulting, and this is by far the most fun side of the table to be on.
LakeHoustonEDP.org. And, Mark, with the last couple minutes, what else do you want people to know?
I think more than anything, if they understand the quality of life we've got going on, if they understand the fact that we've got available land, especially from a business owner perspective, we're close to the airport. We're 10 minutes from the airport. We're 20 minutes from the port. We've got lots of activity going on as far as retail development, commercial development. office space is going up not only in Kingwood but in Generation Park. And again, this is kind of that unknown forest, if you will. People are very familiar with different parts of town, and the northeast side of town, the Lake Houston area, is that growing part of town that I think is going to be the most attractive, and you're going to see some great growth here going forward.
And we have such wonderful areas around town, and each one's a little different with some extra things going for it. LakeHoustonEDP.org. Thank you so much, Mark Mitchell, the president of Lake Houston Economic Development Partnership. And Brett,
Yes.
before we leave, if someone's interested in enhancing their backyard with a pool or other, how can they
give
reach
us a
you?
call. It's all about having a conversation and communication. Call us at 281-236-4344. That's 281-236-4344, and look for our ads on TV.
There he is, Brett Hatfield, down under pools, and you are listening to Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. I feel like taking a dip right now. Stay with us. We're coming right back, and a shrimp on the Barbie. Stay with us.
If you've been in the real estate industry for any length of time, you know unexpected and costly events can happen. Safeguard yourself against the unexpected with Real Estate Errors and Omissions Insurance, or E&O, through Stewart Insurance and Risk Management. Not all E&O insurance policies are created equal. How confident are you that your current E&O policy fully protects you? Stewart Insurance and Risk Management offers expertise in the real estate industry and tailors your coverage to correctly manage your risk. With Stewart Insurance and Risk Management, facing the unexpected just became a lot easier. Safeguard your future with real estate E&O insurance through Stewart Insurance and Risk Management. Call today at 866-845-4676. That's 866-845-4676. Or email us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com to request tailored insurance options for you and your business.
And welcome back, Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. Let's talk about money a little bit with Fairway Mortgage. He is Cary Michael Cox. Cary, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Bill. How you doing today?
Very good. You know, you have a great company, Fairway. The great Chris Kelso is there.
That's right.
You have a special role, and one of the things that this will be a show first to talk about what's known as the reverse mortgage, right?
Exactly. The reverse mortgage is a great product. It's a product that for a long time had a bad reputation. The government recently the last few years has made some changes where it's really beneficial to seniors.
And when we say, who officially is a senior, by the way? There's different numbers. When you go to Denny's, I think you can get some kind of deal when you're 53.
Yeah,
what's a senior?
It's not 53. For reverse mortgage, you have to be 62 years old. In the state
62.
of Texas, the youngest, if you are a married couple or both homeowners, the youngest of those two have to be at least 62 years old.
So 62 is the number. And also, let's define reverse mortgage. What is it? Because you're talking about it had a bad reputation. I think people don't really know what it is, me included.
Yeah.
What is
a
it?
reverse mortgage is a way for you to convert the equity in your home into cash. Because let's be realistic. The equity in your home, you really can't do anything with it. Can't even buy a cup of coffee with it. So as seniors age, they need more money a lot of times because a lot of people haven't saved. So there's $6.5 trillion worth of home equity available to seniors right now, which can go a long way to solving the problems of people running out of money in retirement.
All right, so simply put, let's just take a $500,000 home.
Sure.
Even number. And let's say in this case, from an equity standpoint, it is fully paid for. So we have a nice lump of $500,000. Should that person even think about a reverse mortgage?
Absolutely. A reverse mortgage has been shown through Professors Salter and Avinsky and through Wade Fowle at the American College that using a reverse mortgage will guarantee you more money longer than if you don't take out a reverse mortgage and use that as a part of your financial planning tool.
Because to me, I think most people, they get a regular mortgage, and then the goal is to pay for the house. They want to have free and clear, not think about mortgages anymore. So what is the advantage for someone to take and do the reverse mortgage?
Well, the nice thing about it is you can take that free and clear home, and on average, when you're 62, you can get about 50% of your equity back out of the home. On a typical home equity line of credit or home equity loan, you have to make payments back, because if you don't make payments every month, and it goes at least 9 months, you're going to get a notice for foreclosure. With a reverse mortgage, you don't have to make payments. In fact, you don't have to make a payment for the rest of your life as long as you live in the house and as long as you pay the taxes and insurance just like you would on a traditional mortgage. So as you go into retirement, typically housing is your biggest expense. So let's say that you have a traditional mortgage or you've got a home equity line of credit. You've got to pay on that every month. But let's say that you have some medical issues that come up and you need that money. Well, you've got a choice of either addressing the medical issues or not making your mortgage payment. And if you don't make it for 3 months in a row, they're going to foreclose on it. So you have more security with a reverse mortgage because you get to use the access the equity and convert it to cash for those medical emergencies and remain in the home without ever having to make a payment.
And also going back to the example of the home, let's say that's paid for at $500,000, so they're sitting on that equity. That's price that home will appreciate for the most part, right? Over time, maybe 3 years or whatever, but it might in 3 years have significant appreciation. So does that factor in, or how does that?
It does. If any unused portion of the reverse mortgage line of credit grows at about 5% a year compounding. So if you take out a reverse mortgage line of credit on a free and clear home, you have a $250,000 line of credit. Let's say you only use $100,000 of it. The other $125,000 will continue to grow 5% compounded every year, which is a pretty good rate of return in today's market.
And also, I don't think I said at the beginning of the show, Fairway Mortgage, but also you're with the Kelso Group. And first of all, Fairway has some unique distinctions, and certainly the Kelso Group has even more. Tell us a little bit about Fairway in general and also the Kelso Group and our good buddy Chris Kelso.
Sure. It's a pleasure working with Chris Kelso. He just does so much for the community, and that's one of the things we say at Fairway. Mortgages are what we do. They're not who we are. So it's always about giving back into the community, the real estate community, and to giving back to charity and being involved like that. One of the things that we can do is we are a direct seller to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Ginnie Mae. So we don't have any overlay. So we have quick underwriting. We've closed loans in as few as 7 days. So it's all about speed to response with us. It's getting it closed quickly and on time.
And Fairway is well known, and in fact, and so as is Mr. Kelso here in Houston. In fact, one of the things, people that are driving, I don't know the route he's taken. I know he's on I-10 a lot, 290, going to Kingwood, all over the place. But he has his vehicle wrap where people can see the Fairway logo on his truck. Now, do you have your vehicle wrap?
I don't have the vehicle wrap, but Chris bought a second vehicle, and this one we dedicated to our veterans. It's our American War Initiative. One of the things that Fairway has is its own charity, and we give money back to veterans and help veterans in need. So we have the Kelso Group truck, and we also have the red, white, and blue Fairway American War Initiative truck. So you might see them both out there.
No doubt. They may be looking at it right now as they're listening to this show because he travels a lot of miles. There's no question about that. Also, give us an idea, Cary, some other things about the reverse mortgage with the last couple minutes. What else should people know about it?
One thing to know is that you can use, now in Texas, as about 3 years ago, you can use it to purchase a home. So let's say that you're looking at a $400,000 home and you're retired. Usually most retired people, a lot of them can't qualify because you don't have the income. You're rich in assets, you're low in income. So instead of paying $400,000 cash for the home, you can buy the home with $200,000 down, never have a payment as long as you live in that house the rest of your life, and you can leave that other $200,000 with your investable assets where it's returning, getting a compounded rate of return and continuing to grow and make money for you, so you have more money in retirement. You have your house, you have money making money for you, and you never have a mortgage payment.
When did the reverse mortgage come on the scene?
First mortgage came on the scene back in around 1980. Late 70s, early 80s. It's actually a congressional act. One of the great things about a reverse mortgage is you can never owe more than the home is worth. So let's say that you get a reverse mortgage because it's a neg-am product. So interest is accruing back on the home. And let's say that the home is only worth $200,000, but you owe $250,000. You never have to pay that $250,000. You have to pay the first $200,000, the equity in it, and then FHA mortgage insurance picks up the rest. So you and your heirs can never owe more than the home's worth.
Fascinating. Let's tell people how they can reach out to you.
They can reach me at 713-730-4502, or they can email me at Cary, CARY.COX@fairwaymc.com.
Easy to reach at 713-730-4502, strategically located at the Katy Freeway at the Campbell Road or the Bunker Hill. You make that U-turn, and not only that, you can go in there and have an omelet on certain days, right?
And every day you can stop by for a drink.
That's right. Cary Michael Cox, the Fairway Independent Mortgage Company with the Kelso Group. Thank you, Cary, for being on the show. One more time, let's tell them how they can give them your phone number.
713-730-4502.
And we do want to shout out to Mr. Chris Kelso, doing great work out there and on the Real Estate Rat Pack every Saturday at 9 a.m. on this station. You may have already heard the show as you listen to this show, but tune in to the Real Estate Rat Pack at 9 a.m. every Saturday, and then listen to this show or go to realestateratpack.com. Thank you so much, Cary.
Thanks,
and we're
Bill.
going to come right back with even more. Stay with us.
Stewart Title has been serving Texas for over 120 years. A Texas treasure, Stewart Title's longevity is a testimony to superior service, innovation, and knowing what their customers want. Recent surveys show that 92% of respondents want secure online tracking tools to help them during the closing process. Stewart Title offers the most robust and secure system to track transactions online available today. To learn more, contact Stewart Title at one of their many offices around the city. Stewart Title, online at stewart.com. That's STEWART.com.
And welcome back, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. And now we're brought to you every week by Stewart Insurance and Risk Management. Tom Carpentier leads the company in a magnificent way, and Brittany Tacquard. Brittany, welcome to the show.
Why, thank you, Bill.
I just saw you the other day, in fact.
Yes, you did. We enjoyed having you at our office to talk a little bit about communication.
Indeed, and we'll talk a little bit about that today. But first of all, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management, in case people are tuning in for the first time, what do you do at your company?
So Stewart Insurance and Risk Management, you may have recognized the Stewart part of our name. We are owned by Stewart Title, and we are the property and casualty part of Stewart. Meaning that we insure homes, so home insurance, auto insurance, all those personal insurance products. We mainly work with home buyers who are going through that real estate transaction. And then we also insure businesses who operate within real estate. So that is our focus. You mentioned broker E&O, so real estate brokers, lenders, title agents. We insure all of those people who operate within real estate from a business perspective. And we enjoy doing it. I guess if I could give one tidbit about Stewart Insurance and Risk Management, we look to positively impact lives by properly insuring better. That is our internal motto, our mission, and that's what we set out to do every single day.
And Stewart, we have such a great website that covers all the facets of our business, and yours, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management, can be found on the very first page at stewart.com. Couldn't be
very
simpler.
First page.
Go to the insurance tab, and then you'll see the full menu, both with personal, the pillars of our everyday insurance, things that we need for our car, our home insurance, even umbrella policies, and then there's commercial insurance. So you're helping even real estate brokers there with broker E&O. Simply, all they have to do is call you. What's that number?
So the number up front is 866-845-4676, and that's to get in contact with an actual individual. I know the 866 number can be scary sometimes, but we definitely believe in having those conversations, and it's all about communication. I know that we mentioned that earlier on in the show, and it really is about being able to talk to our customers and understand what their individual needs are, so we can then provide them that proper insurance. Because bottom line, proper insurance is different for everybody. You really can't say this way's proper, this way's proper. It's really talking to each person, understanding them.
And not to mention things in our lives, our insurance needs change all year long. One, we get a new home, we have a second home, all these different things, or whatever. So there's a lot of things that can happen, but also we talk about communication. Communication is so important. I know what your company does, like many real estate professionals around here. Certainly you talk to the real estate professionals, visit their office. However, you also have intense training at your office, and you talk about and making everyone better all the time, improving their communications with customers and so on. It's great.
Yeah, we absolutely enjoy it. We enjoyed having you, the host.
I was just there. Yeah, we talked about public speaking and verbal communications and listening and talking.
It's all about learning. It's continuous learning. And I think that the base of good communication, and I see it every time when we come to the show, is first you have to have the knowledge of what you're talking about, and then you have to have the knowledge of your audience. So having those two pieces kind of work together when we communicate to others. So you have to know what you're talking about. You have to know who you're talking to. Everybody interprets words,
so many
mannerisms
things to know. I'm overwhelmed already, but go ahead.
I mean, it's just everybody interprets differently, so you really have to understand who you're talking to. I know you talked a lot about being relatable, storytelling. I think that's an avenue to really relate to somebody. Being able to tell a story is so important. And then you also mentioned conciseness. So we'll probably
having ideas that stick.
Absolutely. And we'll hear this show, and we'll probably hear a couple won't we? We'll hear a couple and we'll hear a couple
verbal. Those are called verbal fillers. When we're
Verbal
talking,
fillers.
and this is one of the things people can hear. They hear it on this radio show, although we try to take those out in our fine editing procedures. However, if you're watching TV or listening to the radio, when we speak, a lot of times we go ahs,
Yes,
you
we
know.
do.
And that gives what happens is we're thinking of what to say next. And to be a better communicator, I believe if we're mindful of that and not do it in the first place, and the way I said to do that I do is record myself, not just on the radio, of course, but when I am giving a presentation, I use my iPhone and I use the Quick Voice Pro and listen to what I say. I go back and say, gee, did I use those verbal fillers? Because the verbal fillers will get in the way of our message sometimes if we do too many of them. And I think that's really a great advice for people. Record when you're talking on the phone. If you're in a business standpoint, use that recording apps to see how you actually sound, because you will be a better communicator if you know what's going on.
And I think you mentioned that it might be painful for some people.
Sometimes.
I think it will be, as a lot of people I know, even recording your own voicemail and hearing it back, sometimes
they say,
you
that's
cringe
not
a little
me.
bit.
I don't like the way I sound.
Exactly,
That's right.
but something that you said was impactful, and that is you can change it. Was it actresses or actors that you said actually go to voice coaching if how you
A lot
sound
of
maybe
people do.
bothers
That's right.
you? But you can always change those you can always change those verbal fillers. It's just being mindful of it, right?
You're exactly right. And some of the and certainly when we say changing our voice, we're not saying talk artificially or
Right.
like someone you're not. However, our breathing is so important, our posture when we're sitting. In fact, singers use vocal coaches all the time, and some of the things they focus on is breathing and posture, and it's just being able to sound better. And of course, if someone has a nasal voice, that too. So we all can improve wherever we are at. So first we assess where we're at, and then take some steps forward, because we're always trying to be a little bit better at communicating. It's so important.
It is. And along with knowledge, being relatable, being concise, I think the last component that I really always think of when I hear you, when I hear our own president, Tom Carpentier, when I hear other really great speakers, is enthusiasm. You have to have enthusiasm about what you're speaking about. Michelle Steffen, which is our insurance trainer, who trains our...
Lots of passion for
yes.
insurance.
Oh, lots of passion for insurance. The insurance nerd, the insurance lady.
Never seen anything like that.
Right? I mean, you wouldn't think
It's contagious, though.
We go out, it is, because we go out and we talk about insurance of all things, being Stewart Insurance Risk Management, and people are excited about it.
That's
and
right.
it really does change when you have that enthusiasm in your voice.
Just hanging around, Michelle, it makes me want to say the word deductible
Mm-hmm.
every now and then. And I do want to, what you started to refer, deductible,
Really?
limits of liability, primary residence. We have all the terms. They'll be floating around here. But
We
I
try
do
not
want
to do the jargon
I
too
do-
much.
I do want to mention that the person that you're talking about, as far as a great person to listen to be a better communicator, is go to alexafisher.com. And she has some great podcasts, but also she talks about verbal fillers and communicating better in general. Go to YouTube, Alexa Fisher. You will be better off. Brittany, one more time. Let's tell people how they can reach out to you.
You can call us and communicate with us at 866-845-4676 for proper insurance.
That is right. And now let's go back to Magnolia, Texas. Let's just take that trip to Magnolia. You can see the trees, and I see the sign that says LaRae Whorley Realty Group. And here's LaRae. LaRae, welcome back.
Thanks for having me back.
Well, super cool. Let's tell, but what else should people know, LaRae, about your operation there in beautiful Magnolia and about Magnolia, Texas?
Well, I did want to just give a point of reference about where we're officing. Since it's a brand new office, I know it's almost like a secret office, but I'm officing at the Magnolia Landmark Building, which is the only 3-story red brick building in the city limits. You cannot miss it.
So that's very distinctive right there.
It's very distinctive. And we're on the 3rd floor, the professional floor, and I have 2 suites. Come by anytime to visit.
And when people, let's say from Houston, what is the main road to get to Magnolia? Let's tell people.
Well, there's a couple of main roads. You can, if you were coming from north, say I-45, the interstate, you would travel on 1488, almost 20 miles to get into the city limits of Magnolia. However, the geography of Magnolia is much larger than that. They'll only travel maybe 10 miles, and then they'll start seeing the growth that's on the east side of town. And I hate to use those distinctions because they're almost divisive, but there's definitely a different quality of living, and they're not. One's not better than the other. One's just a little more populated than the other side.
Very nice. Also, let's tell people when they from your perspective, all this 19 plus years of experience, if you were getting ready to sell your home, what are the primary things you'd be thinking about? What would you advise your clients?
We take it back to the basics. There aren't any, quick start recipes for selling a home. It is, the basics are location, condition, and price. And I think what we're seeing in our market, Houston-wide, is a little correcting of the market. I think for a little while we had some inflated prices, and I think things are backing down. We're seeing a normal market now. We're not seeing a market that leans towards sellers nor leaning towards buyers. So in a normal market, it's take it back to the basics. Your home has to be in pristine condition, it has to be in a desirable location, and it has to be competitively priced.
And listen to your realtor. That's
Correct.
kind of important too, right?
Absolutely.
And get the pet sitting at LaRae Whorley Realty, right?
Right,
That's
right.
too cool. LaRae, one more time. Let's tell people how they can reach you.
281-300-5737.
And we want to say to everybody, thank you so much. That LaRae and Cassandra, that we're going to hear from her in a second, was brought to you today by Stewart Title's very own Hope Moy, and she is here with us right now. Hope, welcome to the show.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
It's great. And really, Magnolia is a wonderful place. Let's tell people just a bit about Stewart Title right there where your office is.
Stewart Title is very conveniently located in Magnolia at the intersection of 2978 and 1488. It's right in the heart of the...
Is it near the red building that she talked about?
No.
Okay, but it's not that
Sad
far.
face. But it's not that far. Not that far. Just a couple minutes down the road.
And you have some great escrow officers there too, don't you?
I do.
Just
I
let's
do.
shout out to them real quick and give them your phone number.
We have 2 escrow officers at the Magnolia location. We have Kelly Ernst and we have Gloria Uphold.
Great. Well, we'll say hi to Kelly and Gloria. In fact, Gloria is such a distinctive name for me. My mother's name was Gloria, and I love that name. It just makes you feel good. What's the phone number again there, Hope?
It's 832-482-1880.
Very nice. What else would you like to tell people before we leave?
You know, Stewart Title, your business is not just a transaction to us. We enjoy the customer service and making the experience very pleasurable and easygoing and as less stressful as possible.
Very nice. And the phone number is?
832-482-1880.
And also from Magnolia. Thank you, Hope, for bringing Cassandra and LaRae here. One more final word from Cassandra. Cassandra,
Also, we will be doing a grand opening at our offices, even though we opened in February. We're planning it out. We're going to do it Thursday, October 12th. We would love for anybody in the Magnolia area to come by and say hello. Let
October
us help
12th,
you.
Thursday.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cassandra Jester. And Cassandra, how can people reach out to you?
281-797-4793.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now he is here back before we close the show, Mark Mitchell. Mark, welcome back.
Thank you, Bill.
And I'll tell people you are, again, the president of Lake Houston Economic Development Partnership. What else? Final thought, Mark. What should people know?
Well, I loved LaRae's comment about bringing it back to the basics, live, work, and play. So for companies that are as close as Houston all the way to Aberdeen, come take a look at the Lake Houston Economic Development Area, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. We've got great property. We've got great people. And it's a good place.
You're enjoying it, and you're enjoying your new position. Also, what else can you tell people about some of the things? Let's say, what is the thing that surprises people the most when you tell them that we have this or whatever it is, and they didn't know that, and they say, wow, I didn't know that. I'm on my way.
Well, I think for Lake Houston, when you say Katy or when you say the Woodlands, it's well defined. Everybody knows where it is and what it is. And so the surprising piece for the northeast side of town is you've got the city of Humble, which is a very niche, quaint, small community that's got great amenities, and you've got everything from Generation Park, which is going to be a fledgling 4,000-acre development. You've got the Lake Houston area with Lake Houston and boat traffic and water amenities, and most people don't know all that exists within that single community.
And that's great. All they have to do is go to your website, which is lakehoustoneDP.org. They could find out all kinds of things there, or they can even give you a call, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. 281-309-8901. That's my direct dial. Would love to chat.
And what's interesting is, as I think about all of us here today, and real estate professionals out there listening, or someone working at a company, we are all ambassadors for what we do. And certainly we're all residents of the Houston area. We are all ambassadors for Houston, and sometimes even our very own neighborhood. There is so much to offer here, and people ask about our city and the different areas around our city all over the world. It's fascinating.
It is. It is. When you think about all the sister cities that Houston has around the world, and we briefly talked about Aberdeen, I mean, there are several other cities that call Houston a sister city. So it's an international city. We've got 85 consulates here. We've got 6 million people here from dozens of countries. And so you talk about a melting pot and a growth opportunity and just a diversity. It's an international city.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Mitchell, president of the Lake Houston Economic Development Partnership. I can't say it. Thank you so much, Mark.
Right,
and now,
you,
before we close out the show, I want to also say a word about our friends at Fairway Mortgage, the Kelso Group, Cary Cox. They have an event coming up Thursday the 20th. Go see them at their address, 9601 Katy Freeway, or just look them up. They'll tell you all the coordinates. They're having a grand reopening on the 20th. That is a Thursday. Check them out, Fairway, the Kelso Group. You can see Chris Kelso driving all over the town. And thank you so much for listening. Yes, the show is ending, but not really, because it never ends. It's like Netflix, but different. That is, you can go to Stewart.com/Houston or Bill Knapik Radio Shows, the YouTube channel, to see all the shows. Again, Stewart.com/Houston are the coordinates. Check it out. You can hear all the shows. And until next week, thank you so much for listening. And, oh, yeah, you want a pool? Check out Down Under Brett Hatfield at Down Under Pools. That's underpools.com. Check them out, and thank you for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. Thank you, Hope Moy. Thank you, everybody, for being on the show, and until next week, we'll see you then.